More than 40 area residents jammed into the meeting room at the Park House at the Dana Thompson Rec Park in Manchester on Thursday evening to hear a presentation about a proposed bike and hiking trail that would run from the Manchester Elementary Middle School to North Road, and eventually, possibly beyond that, into Dorset. The project has been under consideration for several years already, as a group of local supporters acquired the abandoned rail bed of the Manchester, Dorset, and Granville Railroad, and have been gradually improving parts of it with the idea of eventually creating a trail good enough to ride a bike over, or walk, or jog, if that's the preference. The town of Manchester obtained a largely federally funded grant to finance a scoping study to explore the roughly mile-and-a-half stretch from Hunter Park to North Road that would include part of the abandoned rail line. If the project ultimately is approved and developed with state and federal financing bearing the majority of the costs, work on the project is unlikely to start until at least another year and probably even further away into the future. The pathway would be improved and graded and adequate drainage created. The meeting Thursday was a presentation led by Daniel Peck, a senior project engineer with a consulting firm hired by the town of Manchester, who described it and gave an overview of the project.
Intersecting Pig Road, going through this section of wooded area, through the field, and this is where the MD&G railroad corridor begins for the project, along this red line, up to the intersection with Squires Road.
Afterwards, it was opened up to hear community feedback, and of that there was no shortage, both pro and con. Supporters saw it as an opportunity to build more recreational capacity in the town for residents and visitors alike, but others, some of them residents and property owners who live in the vicinity of the proposed and upgraded trail, expressed concerns about privacy and security when a lightly used trail could become a passageway for a much larger number of people. The scoping study was only the first of more scheduled meetings on the proposed trail. Another presentation is planned for August, and then another in September, with the scoping study scheduled to be finished by late October. Should the project advance from there, a town vote to authorize the local portion of the upgrade would be needed, probably at next March's town meeting. Robin Werner, one of the members of the core group who have been working on this project for nearly 20 years, talked about its potential impact.
Rutland has a bunch of opportunities, including a mountain bike system that's fantastic. It's called the Pine Hill Park. People go there from everywhere. So biking is a good, or any kind of outside of activity is a really good thing. And this trail has this, you have to understand, this rail bed has been here since 1903. Anybody whose property abuts this trail would have seen that railroad bed on their deed when they bought it.
We also talked with Donald Dykes, one of the immediate neighbors who opposes the project.
It's just too close to our house. I look out my office window every day, and you can catch these people out of the corner of your eye. Very close to our house. Any dog we see on there is never on a leash. Doesn't matter. Sometimes they come up our property, sometimes they don't. It's just isn't necessary to have the path, really. It's just a waste of money, I think.
If you want to watch the full presentation of the scoping study and the questions and answers that followed, you can find it at GNAT-TV's website, gnat-tv.org. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.